Students, welcome to your English class. So today in this class we will learn about the sixth chapter of your English, general English, that is the Wild Swans at Coolie. It is being written by W.B. Yeats, that is William Butler Yeasts. William Butler Yeasts is an Irish poet, okay, and he is also a dramatist. So as you know that earlier also we have read many poems based on nature, so this poem is also based on nature. Okay, it's a nature poem. William Butler Yeats is trying to tell us about nature, but in his view, in his point of view, not related to the other poets. Okay, means in this poem he is giving us two situations, the earlier situation and means the present and the past. You can compare two situations, the present situation and the past situation. There are four stanzas in the poem. As you read out these stanzas, you will come to know this poem very easily, as because the poem is written in very simple verse. Okay, so let's start what William Butler Yeats is trying to tell us, okay, in this poem. Now you see, in the first very stanza, as you read it out, you will come to know that William Butler Yeats was once traveling in the forest, and it was an autumn season. So as he was traveling in the forest, most of the time when we travel in any of the place, we observe things, right? So William Butler Yeats was also observing things around in the forest. So as he was moving around in the forest and observing things in the forest, what had happened, after some time he had reached a lake. Okay, in that lake the water was shining, means water was very reflective, means it was reflecting, because when does water reflects? Water only reflects when the water is clean. So the water was very clean in that lake, and in that lake there were almost 59 swans. 59 swans almost was there in that lake. Swans you have, I think, seen. Okay, this is a bird, this one. So it was in the water, swimming in the water. It just looks like the duck. Okay, it is not a duck, but it looks like the duck. Okay, the goddess Saraswati, on which it states the Bahan, which we say, that animal, that bird can be considered as a swan, means that is a swan. Okay, so on that lake there are 59 swans swimming all over. Okay, so the scene was looking so beautiful there. So the William Butler Yeats, as he saw that the entire scenic view of the place, when he visited the forest, he was observing the trees, he was observing the flowers over there, he was seeing the woods of the trees, how what are its quality, how is it or not. So he was just all seeing all this, and he found a lake. That lake was so pure, because you see, in the dirty water does not reflect, you cannot see your face, okay, in the water, if the water is dirty. So the lake water was so clear that the water was reflecting, and the swans were there roaming here and there. Okay, there were many swans. He also remembered after 19 years that he visited that place. Okay, and this is at the present time when he has visited, but after 19 years, that situation when he visited that place, it has become a past. So after 19 years he again visited that place, and what has he experienced? You see, he immediately he went to that particular place as he has visited the 19 years before. After 19 years he found the same as it is, because in the forest, you see, most of the time when things changes, because things changes when some certain people enter in the forest, cut down the trees, or anything happens, because this is a wild forest. You cannot there are no changes taking place in the forest. So the things were as it was 19 years before. The lake was as it place itself. Okay, so when he visited the lake, he realized that the sky was completely reflecting its image in the water, because the water was as clear as it was 19 years before. You see, the image of the sky, the blue image of the sky could be seen in the water, and the water has turned entirely blue. Okay, he could again see the swans roaming in the water, but when he visited the place 19 years before, he saw the swans to be very small. The swans were very small, they couldn't fly. But now what had happened, when he went there, he could see that the swans are roaming here and there in the lake, and now the swans had grown in size, means they have become bigger in size, means they have grown up, and the swans could now fly up in the air. Okay, here the poet is telling this, and as they fly up, their poet observed their wings, that when he has visited the lake 19 years before, their wings were not so much developed, they couldn't fly. Okay, but now what had happened, they were flying very properly. Their wings were very light now, so that they could fly up. He observed each and everything in the lake. The swans were earlier the swans were together, and after 19 years also the same swans were in the lake, and they were also together. As they saw the poet, they flew up on the air, and as they were flying, the poet could observe that their wings are now light and they are capable of flying, but earlier they were not capable of flying. However, he observed that the passage of time, you see, poet also observed the passage of time, because you see 19 years is not at 1 or 2 days matter, it's a vast gap. So after 19 years, the nature, many things has got changed. You see, the trees, the rivers, the mountains that were all around in that area were as same as it was, but only what living things has changed. Living things means this, the swans has changed. They have grew, means they were, as they were beautiful earlier, they were now looking more and more beautiful, and they have just grown bigger. This poet is telling us this. And also he is telling us that he realized even when they fly away from him, or even when they were no longer comes to see, they will still be doing what they have always done elsewhere, for some other observe their testaments to effects. So the poet is telling that as the swans earlier, they used to swim in the water and catch the fishes for their meal. Okay, now also they fly, and they fly all over to catch fishes. Okay, but only one capable thing is, you see, here the entire poem, it is William Butler Yeasts is reflecting that how these things looks beautiful, because you see, just imagine an image in your mind that the swans are moving in the lake water is completely white, means reflecting the sky image. As you look up your book, you can see the lake image of the lake, it is so reflecting, and the swans are moving, some are flying, some are getting up, again some are coming and sitting in the lake. So the image, the poet is telling that many things has changed in this 19 years, but mostly the swans has changed, but the forest outlook, the entire scenic beauty of the forest has not got changed. This is only about the poem The Wild Swans at Coolie. Okay, thank you.